Is it enough? It's completely unnecessary. Listen, this fight is sold, guys. The only thing separating these two is time and space, and business is going to do great. As a matter of fact, a report came out today to say it is the second hottest ticket item in the history of the UFC. This was by Dave Meltzer. I need to give him credit, only to be outdone by Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez at MSG, which was Conor's last time fighting in mixed martial arts. So, yes, look, everything is wonderful here. I'm all for cheap heat. I'm all for a cheap pop. I don't think that Conor needed to do it. Conor actually went a little bit after Khabib's father, who by most standards is very much off limits, but I'm all for it. And Conor, to quote him, simply said, hey, guys, this is war. I'm getting ready for war, so to hell with all of you. And Ariel, for me, as a fight fan, that's compelling.
I was wondering, Chael, like, okay, when is it going to start and how far is Conor going to go? Because we know from the Floyd Mayweather fight and from other fights in the past against Jose Aldo, against Eddie Alvarez, nothing is taboo for Conor McGregor. One of my most memorable, and we'll talk about this in a bit, but one of the most memorable aspects of the Floyd fight, if you recall, I know you're not a big sports fan, but when Conor McGregor showed up wearing a CJ Watson Golden State Warriors jersey, and everyone was like, why is he wearing a Golden State Warriors jersey? And that's because it was a very personal thing and an accusation towards Floyd Mayweather. He was trying to get under his skin, and it ruffled a lot of feathers, and some people thought he crossed the line. Some people thought that was a topic that was off limits. And so eventually we got over all that, the fight happened, and we know where we stand. And now the first thing he talks about is Khabib's dad. To your point, Khabib's dad is off limits. Khabib's dad is so respected, so revered, and you're seeing the tweet/IG post right here. I mean, this is someone who anyone who is somewhat in relation to Khabib, part of his team, works with him, they talk about Khabib's father with so much respect and admiration, adulation. I mean, it's an amazing thing to hear these men and women talk about Khabib's father. Javier Mendez talks about him with the utmost respect. And now Conor's first strike is about Khabib's dad, and the second strike, he's talking about Chechnya and Dagestan and calling one of Khabib's training partners / friends a traitor. I mean, he is going there, and these are places that no one who has fought Khabib in the past has wanted to go, but that's Conor's MO. All's fair in love and fight promotion. So to me, I'm not going to say that I support this, but I'm sitting back and reading it. I'm like, wow, Conor's actually going there. This is going to get very interesting. We know that it's not fake. We know that this is not fabricated. I just can't wait to see them actually be in the same room once again, face to face. I hear they're going to do a press conference in New York. They're not going to do a world tour. And I'm curious from, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but do you feel like that's enough? Because I feel like, could you imagine them going to Dublin? Could you imagine them going to Moscow for a press conference? That would be the most unbelievable scene in the history of combat sports. But it sounds like they're not going to do it. Part of me is a little upset, but part of me thinks like, you know what? They probably don't need to do it.
You know, Ariel, you got me so curious. I didn't get the sports reference earlier. I don't know that baseball team, and I surely don't know who TJ Watts is, but I will look it up later. I'm very curious how it got under his skin and what the jersey meant. Thank you for the story. I do want to say this to you. I agree that the press tour would be a ton of fun, and I do have wonderful memories of the Mayweather-McGregor press tour. However, I don't know that Khabib could uphold his end of the bargain in fairness, and Khabib would probably be the first to tell you, look, that's not really my strong point. Dana White touched on this topic. To quote Dana White, he said, we'd love to do a world tour. We simply don't have time. I accept that. Yes, I do think it's going to be enough. I believe the footage of the dolly versus the bus is a $5 million piece of marketing that was organic, and nothing beats something that's organic. I think with the help of the worldwide leader here at ESPN, we're going to do more than enough to move the needle on this, and the box office, which is already stuffed, packed, and sold out, fully represents that. Ariel, did you see an interview that was done just yesterday by Khabib's head coach, Javier Mendez, where he openly said, we're well aware of what we're getting into. We are the superb grappler in our opinion, though Conor is a good grappler. Conor is the superb striker in our opinion, though we can strike a little bit. I thought that was a very fair assessment. You don't usually get let in and revealed behind the curtain, where Javier simply said there is simply not enough time for us to catch Conor McGregor with his stand-up and with his awkwardness, with his uniqueness. He said some very nice things. I liked that, Ariel, and the reason I liked it, even though it's anti-promotion, it's very positive in letting us into the mindset that these guys have studied tape and these guys are very realistic about what they're getting into. Do you agree?
Yes, at its core, this fight is the classic grappler versus striker matchup. If the fight stays standing, everyone favors Conor. If the fight goes to the ground, everyone favors Khabib. That's kind of what I love most about it. It's an old school type of fight. By the way, dolly footage, is it cross? Should they not use it? Most disgusting, should they not use it, or are you okay with it?
They absolutely should use it. I think that the precedent has already been set between John Jones and Daniel Cormier that went all the way up to commissions and sanctions and fines and community service on behalf of all of them. We've already broken that barrier. There's no sense in hiding behind it. It's the fight business, and that was real.
I agree.
For more Ariel and the Bad Guy, sign up now for ESPN+.